Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Reed Nicholson, also known as Reed Your Realtor, and I am a real estate agent in the West Michigan area. In today's video, I am going to go through exactly what you should look for when you are deciding on a realtor to hire to either represent you in your home buying process or in selling your current home. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. So, when you're looking for a realtor to represent you, whether you're buying a home or selling a home, first thing you're going to want to do is compare the local agents in your market if you don't already have some agents that you're thinking of hiring or already know. Compare, go online, Google, do some research in your local market. See what kind of realtors are out there. See if there's any realtors that specialize in a certain property to either sell or help you buy. And just get some general knowledge of the realtors that are out there and kind of what each one represents. You know, if they have websites, look up their websites. If they have YouTube channels, look up their YouTube channels. See if it's someone that you think you would even like. And from there, you can kind of wean out and choose who you actually want to meet with or give a call to see if you can meet with them and talk more about what they do, offer, and provide for you as their client. Okay, step 2, and probably the biggest step in hiring a realtor, is asking them the right questions. So, you did your research, you found the realtor that you want to potentially work with, or you found maybe a couple that you potentially want to work with. Now you're sitting in front of them, you're ready to interview them. What questions should you ask? Question 1, what's their time availability look like? Are they doing this full-time? Are they doing this part-time? Is their time availability going to work with your schedule and how you need to go see homes? What's that look like? How does it fit and work with you, your life, and your schedule? Next, do they fill you in on exactly what you want to know? Do they fill you in? Do they walk you through the buying process? Or are you looking to sell your home? Do they walk you through your selling process and exactly what to expect or exactly what they're going to do for you? That would be the next thing. Ask them, what's the process going to look like? Or what should I expect throughout this process? Whether you're buying or selling, they should be able to go right into that and explain exactly to you how that's going to look. You also want to ask them how they communicate with you. Are they willing to communicate with you in your preferred manner? Or are they saying there's only one way they're going to communicate with you and you got to deal with it? If that's the case, might not be the greatest person to work with. Go find someone else that will. But that's a big one. How do they communicate with you, and does that work for you as their client? Now, when you're interviewing these realtors, you also want to look for this one specific thing, and I think it's one of the biggest, most missed details that people forget about. Realtors are helping you through probably one of the biggest financial decisions you're ever going to make, decide, or do. If that's the case, wouldn't you want to work with a realtor who genuinely tries to get to know you, genuinely tries to understand your situation, maybe why you're deciding to sell or why you're deciding to buy a new home, what the situation is there, and relates to it, and ask good questions about it to actually get to know you better? And by doing all those things, in turn, allows him to do his job better for you because he knows what he needs to do to get you what you want. Those are the questions you want to see him or her ask you. Are they just genuinely interested in knowing more about you? This, even in my personal business, is one of the biggest things I try to do, because the more I can get to learn about my clients, the better job I can do for them. The better I do in negotiations for them, because I know exactly what they're looking for. You know, it goes so deep, and honestly, when it comes down to it, having a great relationship with the realtor and yourself makes the entire deal so much easier. Knowing you can trust this person, which is kind of a big deal since it's one of the biggest financial decisions you might make, you're going to want to trust him. The only way to do that is by getting to know him. Does he open up about himself? That's another great thing. Does he open up about, his life, what he's got going on? Does he kind of allow you to know more about him? It goes both ways. So those are kind of another 2 big things that you want to look for and help decide when you're deciding on who you end up actually hiring. In my opinion, this is one of the biggest ones. This is the one I try to work on the most. And again, it just comes down to trust, the relationship, and my ability to do the job better for my clients. Lastly, what you want to look for when you are coming towards the end of the interview, was the realtor able to agree on the most important details that you see being going through in this transaction? What were you able? Did he touch on all the points? Did he or she touch on all the points that they needed to cover? Did they make you feel comfortable about what the next steps are or what the process looks like? Was there anything they missed that maybe you were hoping they would have covered? Bring it up to them. See what they say. If it's a good answer and it's what you were looking for, then perfect. Maybe that's the realtor that you should work with. If not, well, maybe you should keep searching. But again, that last point is just, were you both able to come to an agreement on the details that are most important to you? The client, the buyer, the seller, the person that realtor at the end of the day is representing on this massive financial decision. That's what you need to look for. I hope this helped you. And at the very end of all this, the last piece of advice I would just say is, don't just limit yourself to interviewing one realtor. A lot of people that I work with and know, they've interviewed 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 realtors, and they choose the one that they liked the most, they related with the most, and that stood out the most. So that would be my last recommendation. Interview more than one realtor. Interview more than 2 realtors. Get out there, get to know who's out there and who's going to best represent you in this either buying process or getting your home sold. I hope this helps. And if you'd like to interview me to be your realtor, I would love to do that. There's a link down below. Coffee will be on me, and we can just sit down and have a general conversation, and we can talk about what these things are and how I fit into them. So that would be great, and I will leave everything down below in the description. Otherwise, again, I hope this helped you. I hope this maybe brought you some new knowledge, or maybe just brought you some things to kind of consider. If that is the case, I'd really appreciate a comment down below on what you thought. And other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Peace.